India.
Truth.
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 Yes, you. Truth.
Truth.
Media.
Media.
Join Truth Media.
Truth Media.
Truth Media.
Truth Media.
Say unale we dey watch Truth Media.
May watch you.
Unale we dey listen to Truth Media.
Now listen June.
Una listen to.
Now listen
Unale
to.
we dey listen to Truth Media.
Now listen to so media.
No, Truth. You don't have the Truth there.
Okay, Truth.
Unale we dey listen to Truth Media.
Now listen to so media.
Truth Media.
Su media. Very no bad. Nasa anybody Salomon. Yeah, they live for the people them for do any business for do some. Yeah, they live in the office. They no bad. Any business for do some. Are they provide for us for make any students them. Anyway, for make or the confusion or the education, anybody for learner, anybody for prepare, any song if for the anybody.
Every morning with truth in our hands. No more silence, we take a stand. For the people who cry for the dreams that fade, we speak for the hearts that justice betrayed. Radio True Media
on FM 103.9.
Radio True Media
on FM 103.9.
Now we voice, now we power. True Media go shine like tower. We no go fear, we go talk. Even if they know how make we talk. True Media Radio on FM 103.9.
Now God we dey Friday, not true we dey preach. Freedom of speech, now that we dey teach.
For salon, we go stand tall. Radio True Media.
One voice for all.
We honor the land, the struggle, the fight. We shine a light in the darkest night, because we believe in hard work and faith to Sierra Leone way. We hold the line, come what may.
Them one set we more them, but we go shout. Now the poor man voice we they bring out.
Now we alright for know the truth. Now that make we go protect the truth.
True big and no they neglect anyone.
We are the voice, we are the flame. Truth will rise, they'll know our name. We are the truth and nothing else.
Truth they get, we know they play.
Now for Salon, we declare the way. Tune in every day to
Truth me get radio.
3.9.
Truth me get radio.
3.9. Radio True Media. Radio True Media. Radio True Media. Radio True Media. Radio True Media.
On FM 103.9.
Radio True Media.
On FM 103.9.
This is Truth Radio on 103.9 FM, a new wave of radio listening in Sierra Leone. Stay tuned.
I hope that our visitors would listen to this song carefully, because it's true. They're trying their best to stop our progress with bad propaganda. I blown out proportion and spread all around. But the good things of the island they will never mention. Like our scholars have sit and passed every test. There's nothing about that.
Good morning, Freetown. Good morning, Sierra Leone. It's a hearty welcome to another edition of Stop Press right here on Truth Radio 103.9 FM and on Truth Media across the various social media platforms. You get me on Facebook. You also get me on the YouTube channel. The program is Stop Press right here. My name is Christian Conte, and I mean they usually bring you the program. Stop Press, the program where we look at critical issues that really happen across the country, bring can topical issues, and bring can people mostly who are from the media, forget them say and get a discussion, share their views, their thoughts and opinion on the issues that are. Stay with me for the next 1 hour, and here on Stop Press.
We had a little riot in this town. The headline it got, you'll swear the whole island was burning down.
Welcome to Stop Press on Truth Media, Truth Radio 103.9 FM and across various social media platforms. Today we want to look at something very important, and that is the role of the opposition in the governance of the state. And one narrow down, when we say opposition, we'll look at the role of the main opposition, and in this case it's the All People's Congress Party. We expect for a from Minkailu Mansari, Alfred Minkailu Mansari, really part of the publicity team of the All People's Congress Party. We'll try for reach on to him if we don't show up at the program, but in our it, and we'll expect if he not come, we could get him on call and share thoughts about what are the party in a role in the governance of the state, because a lot is happening in Sierra Leone, and the opposition gets a very significant role for play for ensure they serve as checks and balance as a government in waiting. That's the topic for today, and my guest now the ever controversial Melvin Tijad Mansari. Melvin, welcome. It's been a while.
Thank you very much, and my apologies for not showing up in one or two occasions. And that's as a result of exigencies of time and circumstance.
Anyways, thank you so much for coming. I don't follow the conversation on various national issues in recent times, and a lot of people are saying, Melvin seems to have calmed down. Melvin, not as far as would expect, for Biano it happened. You don't settle you at some level. It's more nuanced before they start the show.
Well, I don't know what people expect, but I think one thing you should be very mindful of is, there's this biblical analogy that says Saul has led it in thousands and David is 10,000. And if you look at the biblical narrations around that, it was basically about how you manage public expectations. And in this case, I've come to realize that, Melvin Blas SLPP, some APC de Gladi. Melvin Blas APC, some SLPP de Gladi. And to the point that they even do short snippets videos of Melvin de Blas. So it has been this expectation that Melvin a bomb blaster. And Melvin is a human being. Melvin has got his wits about him. Melvin cannot be always right. But I think the duty there is, I can always remember my advice, you should not be too sweet, not too bitter. And I think I'm trying to keep that fine line on. Because government, they expect me to talk something strategic. Opposition, they expect me to talk something meaningful. So once you are caught up in that dilemma or quagmire of political expectations, I call I write a piece where I call the dilemma of the centrist. Once you are in the center, you position yourself for the middle. You therefore expect the praise, you therefore expect the condemnations, the love and the hate and all that. So I could tell young journalists then, if you're not the fame no more, all man the praise you no more you want, those praises are gonna turn. The more than Melvin. You know, Jesus Christ is not Jesus Christ. We can say
They get the position.
You know.
No, and definitely, I tell people all the time that, you know, what we like for what me like for and what we do here on Truth Media is have a decent conversation. It's not about you get two people and they can't debate. It's good, it's nice sometimes, it's educative, but for two people they can't say with opposing views, they Allah, and nobody learns about what is happening. It's counterproductive. So it's good sometimes. We get a conversation. You understand what you say, the other person understands it, and that's what we want to keep doing.
And I think those criticisms are coming from the last conversation I had with the Minister of Information and Civic Education on Liberty. Before the show, when Liberty post flyer, so many comments. Oh, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be. Everybody get expectation. Another person say, "Oh, I don't expect much." Now SLPP to go sit down. Another one say, "Oh, it's SLPP versus ABC." So, you know, for me, it's good for get a feedback.
Yeah,
but you cannot predicate what you're gonna do, or which one can say also because I know let person vex for me or let glad for me. If you have those preconceived notions, you are gonna miss what is public comment all about, because public comments not for all man support you or for all man hate you, but for all man go back and go reflect. We even be talk.
Yeah, whether it's
right
or
wrong. The other day I was not even around town when somebody they called on one program na Epic. Oh, maybe me na influence we talk about this MCC thing, and as soon as the boss pull me, other people were having conversations. So you know, first for prove yourself.
Yeah.
Throw the ideas out there. Make sure you do your homework well, and let the public judge or decide. But if you are coming there and say, "Oh, I mean, I'm Melvin," what I say correct? No, you're gonna because at the end of the day, me what's fair is the feedback, the comments, the viewers. Because you get some people in a PhD, you get some people in an ordinary that they watch you, but they all get the deductions from what you're saying, how you're saying, and why you're saying it. So you know you can't rewrite the rules because the people then get the expectations and you cannot change them.
Definitely, Melvin. No, now let's go into the conversation. Today's conversation, you know, we one of the very important things that we need to get as a nation, a functional and effective opposition party. It's good we have a government, but you know, governments not more than you know, we need people to keep them on their toes. There's civil society, there's the media. There has to be a functional opposition. We always say the opposition is a government in waiting, and then they're on the wings, so they have to provide alternative policies. They have to provide, you know, some advice. In as much as you wait for the government, but you get to provide something for show people and say, if you take up the seat of governance, you can perform. We have the All People's Congress Party. Like every other political party, they have their own internal bickering, they get their own challenges there. It's a straight question. Has the All People's Congress Party been able to provide solid opposition to the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party and like the opposition should do for the betterment of the people of Sierra Leone?
Yes and no. Yes,
you care to expand?
Yes, yes, in a sense that after 2023, when there are disagreements, they abstained from governance, and we saw the impact of that led to the agreement and discrepancy.
Yeah.
So it showed that the opposition is formidable enough for the fact that it can have what is called a non-violent protest, which I think was the most resounding message. However, the no aspect is, since then, have they been able to keep up in providing serious opposition to the government? And the challenge there is no, for several factors, not just internal within the APC, but also external because of the SLPP created the limbo in which the APC finds itself, which is post-2023, the APC got divided along two lines, electoral justice line and Agenda 2028. And that is not the APC's problem. That was a problem created by the SLPP/ECSL or state apparatus. So if you have an opposition who are not in that position of incumbency, meaning they have power and money, that in itself could keep them in hiatus for as long as they will want to be, because the strings, there's what is called political strings attached, meaning it's beyond their control. However, what has affected the formidability, effectiveness, and potency of the APC as the main opposition, another factor for their, what I would call, not so much potency, is the fact that they are the only opposition party. The fact that you are the main and only opposition.
But why are they the only opposition? We have other political parties.
Because
they're not in governance because they're not in parliament.
Well, if you have other political parties except for councils, but in the House of Laws, legislature, which is the hallmark of the address is called our Royal Majesty's opposition and the loyal opposition.
But do you need to be? You need for them some level of governance to be opposition. You get political party them. Let's say for example the NGC. We all know say they don't challenge them, but you can still be a good opposition, still provide alternative policies without the governance, the parliament, the councils. Possible.
It's difficult because where the government takes its policies, now the House of Parliament, and if you're not represented there, how can you block, for example, a legislation on redistricting?
No, but interestingly, the All People's Congress Party as an opposition is there, but they cannot block a lot of things.
For the reason I'm coming to that, they don't have the numbers. And before now, we used to have NGC and C4C, and now it's just pluralistic. It's either green or red, black and white. So you don't have a buffer. So it's a straight fight. Wherein you're having 81 versus 54. Mind you, when you talk about opposition, the whole sense of opposition in politics, as a political commentator, you look at the first time the word was used in the UK, it's in the House of Laws, and in the House of Commons, and in the House of Laws. So you cannot talk about opposition to government if you don't have a seat in Parliament. Honestly, because the business of government runs in the House of Lawmaking. So APC they're under pressure. They not get the number. They not get anybody who can add to the number. So you have a straight fight of either or. So that's empower them. However, as to other non-external factors, I think the way the APC has handled the Dr. Samura Kamara issue, the way they've handled the Sam Sumana issue, the way they've handled the Anes Kuruma issue, the way they've handled the grassroots issues.
So Melvin, we'll look at these issues individually, but I want to take you back to, your position on Parliament, say, because of the numbers and all that. I will take you back to probably before 2007, when the former president, Ansbai Kumabide, na Parliament at some point in time in Alpha Kanu, people like the Editure, and, they had a very small number, but I dare say, I'm not able to go way back into history, but for my era, waiting missing a Parliament, it was one of the most formidable oppositions in Parliament. They were not even as much as they right now, but then they be able to, shape policies. They might not have a direct influence, but now ABC has more numbers in Parliament than they had then, and you see the challenge of shaping these policies. So is it really about numbers?
Yeah, it's about.
It's about the caliber of people who they represent you.
I agree. It can be about the quality of representation, but it's about numbers. Because at the end of the day, the business of Parliament, where it's in contention, it's put in the vote, and if it's put in the votes, I mean, even when APC had more numbers, they could not win the Speaker's election.
Yeah, that also comes to the quality for everybody. Okay, let's talk about the Speaker's even election. There are some decisions there, no matter how the SFP wants to push it through, they need people from the opposition. And they get people. How does that happen? You have APC where they support some motions there.
Yeah, of course. It happens as recent as on one of Donald Trump's recent one. I think is it Taylor Green. One of the Republicans voted against one of these recent Senate passed laws in the U.S. So that is not a crime.
So I'm still challenging the issue of numbers.
It's called
that's the point.
It's called the whip system.
I'm still challenging the issue of numbers.
So the numbers, if you don't have the numbers in any legislature, you will not make significant legislative change other than debates. You can win the debates, but don't win the votes. And at the end of the day, it's about the votes. The votes are more important than the debates.
Of course, yeah.
The debates will be there for the annals, for the records, for the answers. But it's about the decision. And this is what I tell political commentators. You don't look at the superficials or the optics, but the substance. And that is the context here I'm talking about. You can have the best debaters, but if you come to the vote, you cannot win the vote. Of course, Dr. Kuruma facilitated the Parliamentary Commission Act, and ever since another MP attempted to do the safe motherhood, she could not go through. So all of these are talking about the politics of the numbers. And yes, the fact that the APC lacks the numbers in Parliament is a serious impediment. And somebody was telling me that is not a sober communication, but I just let that slide. But if you look at Commonwealth parliamentary benchmark, or you look at the Latima principle, these are all guiding principles on governance and particularly representational governance. It talks about the votes. Democracy is about majority. Democracy is numbers. So we are in the APC has not got the numbers. That in itself is a serious challenge. But that is not to say they cannot do without the numbers. How?
I definitely agree.
They can lobby, they can canvass, they can raise public opinion, pressure groups, and all that. And I think that's one area also the opposition, they've been weak. They always don't get this thinking, we're not getting number. For example, on the election of the speaker, between Daniel Kuruma and Singapore Thomas. Daniel Kuruma then go first rounds, Thomas not get the number. Then go second rounds, not get the number. On the third round, knowing that, okay, APC not get the number, you say, well, you don't show
majority.
So it goes back to the numbers.
And there are things like man for make a
SLPP are good at playing at the numbers. And that's why the APC should be thinking very strategically. Because now that we are having the recommendations on tripartite to be tabled, if that's going to be put on a vote, because of course I am hearing that there are contentious recommendations.
I know.
So
it always has to be.
And if that's going to be the case, then you pray that the Constitution provides for 2/3 only. But if it's an optional case of where there is
simple
no
majority,
2/3, there is simple majority, then SLPP will get all what they want.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what.
So, before we come and talk about the tripartite committee and all the drama around it, I think I support you in the side of the numbers. I can give a quick example. Like we own small association like Sludge. We go to AGMs and
you remember?
No, it's not about even elections. We go to AGM and we as people they push for this agenda, and sometimes I just sit back and I just smart temple to say, calm down, we don't vote on that. And when we vote, we are going to win it because I know what people think. So all these good debates and all that there, but it's good to have the debates for enrich the conversation. Now, more to the tripartite committee. We all know the background. We don't need for belabor points on the background. I started and all that. And there was some change, and Dr. Samoa Kamara, who was like the face of the party at that time, was withdrawn. Dr. Kefala Marakam in his shoes. And we look at the committee, and sometimes it seems we are making progress, sometimes it seems we are retrogressing. Now, the chief minister is always saying we don't do 100% of the tripartite recommendations, all 83 or so, we don't do them. The opposition is saying no, we're not even close to that. And quite recently, we had a conversation here on Truth Media where the secretariat of the tripartite, trust issues evolve. The APC say when I do things like this, we don't know, and all these controversies. What do you think should be done for ensure so we get because this process come after the 2023 elections and the whole distrust. International community don't put money. People don't put money. Time, energy, resources have been put, but it does not seem we are going where we want to. Do we want to go to the 2028 elections after to get all that tripartite committee again and all that there?
I'm afraid the filibustering around the implementation of the tripartite is deliberate, and it's all bent in making sure that the opposition is not effective enough. From a political standpoint, if you're having a situation wherein the opposition is expected or expectant on certain derivatives or certain outcomes that are deemed they should be actionable and another adjective, non-negotiable, something like that. And now the opposition is there. And it's this dilemma that has caused serious fragmentation within the APC. Because you have this faction that is saying, oh, if tripartite is ongoing and there are unfinished businesses, there is a tendency that they might come back to those unfinished, one of which is whether BO, whether the SLPP and Mother BO as presidents won, and all that. And it's clear that nobody is having substantial evidence other than ECSL, even in fact if they do, which I know they do, but they've not published. So that is one. Its tripartite has been a cost to the APC, and you will detect that from the audio. Yes, you will detect that from the audio of the leaked audio of Anisbai Kuruma. You clearly heard him saying that, oh, I will tell them, say, in diplomacy, now we do diplomacy in West Africa, where you now go to the table so you don't done, and then grab and go sign 18 sorting recommendation. So it's clear that decision itself for go or not go into the tripartite is where the APC, the SLPP begin for sow seeds of disagreement. But as the APC realized that, and that is the problem, I think looking at the way Samoa Kamara was removed as chief negotiator, and looking at the circumstance under which Samoa was appointed as chief negotiator, because he was the one that was on ballot, and we all succumbed to the argument that, oh, he's the chief negotiator. So if you are removing him, I think the APC never qualified enough the reason for the removal of that.
No, but they put out statements. They make it clear. Say first of all, someone not seen for getting enough time when it comes to the committee and all that. Then I think say the feedback mechanism between him as chief negotiator in the party was kind of fragmented. So like what did the party seem for want, and what him probably in seem for want is different. Now of course you agree with me. Say you get your own kind of a movement. They look for electoral justice. We seem for they at various routes the party one, because on several occasions the party don't talk say 2023 elections are done. We don't move from there. We remember how for win 2028 elections, but Dr. Samoa is still saying this is not done. This is not a done business. So because of the divergent views between him and the party, or according to the party, they claim it was necessary for somebody else to step in. They have a new negotiator now. Has that changed anything substantially?
I know Dr. Mara is a strategist and very strategic thinker based on his previous portfolios. However, for the fact that he contested against Dr. Samoa Kamara for that same position, for the fact that Dr. Mara never signed the Agreement of National Unity, although he was deployed there or assigned to the committee by the APC, and he was never questioned or he never came out to state his reasons. In as much as he might have all the competence, he cannot be morally the right person. And if you're saying the feedback mechanism, Samoa Kamara is not the spokesperson for the APC at the tripartite secretariat.
Who is?
We don't know. They've never come out to say they have a team of.
Well, we just be taken by our chief negotiator. So now they make all the strategic decisions then backed up by the party.
Well, if you put on internet with the SLPP now, they be saying no more they make strategic decisions.
Yeah, because now when in the chair and all that, now they speak on behalf of government and all that.
Yeah, but it's not about the Visenge alone. When it comes to the side of the government, you have the secretariat, you have Peace Commission. They are doing it from an institutional perspective. Yeah. So for the APC to have removed him on those flimsy grounds, for me, I think that's why I said the tripartite has been a curse than a blessing to the APC. But perhaps a blessing to Sierra Leone.
Exactly. I was about to ask you, because it is because of that tripartite probably we don't get some level of stability, because the APC never agreed to work with government. You know, they get all the issues then. Because that tripartite come, then they say, okay, now we have something to cushion, you know, our sorrows and pains. Let's negotiate. You know, before we say we're not take part in our government, let's negotiate. And the negotiation they go on so now.
So it was, as we see in the short or midterm, in the interest of national cohesion. But it's not the interest, it's never in the interest of party cohesion. Because after the Senate tripartite, now we see Team A, Team B, and all that.
So what do we do as citizens, as Salon people? Why we progress? We want a solid government. We want a solid opposition for all to add our voice to the conversation and get something solid going forward.
At this point, if you ask what can the people do, I mean, you are talking about the electorate. We have limited actions to take. Because our actions can only be limited to outside the APC, they don't fit in certain F1 candidates. We can only validate that candidates at the ballot box. So what can we do? Inversely means we as Sierra Leone people there, and then when within our APC as party, we get the delegates power for go votes, and then for make the right choices on whatever decision, right or wrong, then we don't take. Because at the end of the day, it's about democracy. It's not about oligarchy. It's not a monarchy. Few people. So you in a position of trust in the APC, you get a duty for make sure that your decisions reflect the general opinion of Sierra Leoneans, not necessarily APCers.
Then they left to left to the various parties there. If you go as a party, you don't make decisions with favor the people of Sierra Leone. But you lost election, and it's simple because you give a candidate that the general people don't want. And the party will lose election, obviously.
The people might vote for a loss, but ECSL might announce a win. So what will you do?
Well, that's a very interesting conversation. Let's see how that goes. When we get to that bridge, they will definitely cross that. Now, another very interesting thing they blew up at the APC, there are lots of issues, where I think they distract the APC from being a serious formidable opposition. Let's look at the Sam Sumana issue, It on the boil, and, Sam Sumana has decided, okay, before I go court, let's start with the PPRC. They have held two sittings to the best of my knowledge. I really, able to get clearly what's in common at the sittings from both sides. But they're having negotiation. They're calling people who are part of their 21-man committee and get evidence and testimonies. And I know say ultimately Sam Sumana wants to lead the APC, wants to be president of Sierra Leone, but the issues surrounding a membership, whether it's new membership or old membership, neither they try for question all that day. How do you think the APC goes away from this, left this distraction, and focus on governance, focus on serving as a government in waiting?
The need for stop for play the fear mongering tactics. That this man will don't make ungrateful power, you don't go form a party, or this man if he can't get for cancer on debt. They say when dry bones are mentioned.
The whole often easy, eh?
So if you know you've not done Sam Sumana anything wrong, I mean, when I can say this, many people can say, oh, maybe. But the fact remains, the Constitution not states any time frame for which somebody for them be member of a political party for be eligible for contest for the presidency.
Which constitution specifically?
The 1991 Constitution.
Yeah, but the party constitutions have it. Both party constitutions have it. The SFP party constitution gets the APC party, and they're bent on leaving it there. I don't listen to the spokespeople from both of the parties, and they are hell bent on keeping that. According to them, it safeguard the party. But when it's in controversial,
it's not safeguarding the party. It's safeguarding certain people within the party, not the party. It's about personal interest and personal protection.
So there are two questions when it comes to that specifically. Question one has to do with internal party democracy. So, for example, somebody just did a party 2 months or 3 months, they decide to run for flag bearer. Then the other argument is about the national constitution, where not put that kind of time limits there, and the political party constitution, they had variance with the national constitution. But that's the case for the courts. Nobody know they try for challenge that in the court. That's the problem.
You go court, you go waste time for go spend per lawyer and go waste the court in time. No, but because the provision of section 171 and subsections clearly say any law where they in contrast with the constitution is null and void.
Well, how possible will affect that if you not go court? So, for example, let's assume Sam Sumana thinks this law is at variance with the national constitution, rightly so or wrongly so, based on layman terms. Yes, it's against the constitution, but how it will affect that if you're not going to court and the court's not put a ruling and make a value say, okay, this is this, because it's in the SFP constitution, it's in the APC constitution, and they are going by that.
And they are going by that until it's challenged. laws are not written on stones.
So that's what I said. Need for go court. But you say maybe it's a waste of time going to court.
It's a waste of their time as an opposition. We are examining the role of an effective.
Effective
So
opposition.
if you go to court, when is that matter going to be assigned? When will food?
Maybe the earlier the better. The better time now.
Samsumana is buying time with the APC, and the APC must be mindful of that. He could have immediately go to the courts, but he never did that. He could have objected, but he never objected. Follow the PPRC, he complained. And proxies, some of whom are his supporters, are already challenging two petitions. So what Samsumana is doing is playing safe, but at the same time buying time. He's keeping the APC engaged.
Buying time for what? What exactly?
Buying time in taking the attention of the APC. That's the time-consuming factor. When will they be coming out of the courts?
But ultimately,
And
you know,
in buying time, he's keeping himself politically relevant too. So, in
but,
the interim,
in all tell on him as a person in the long term. So okay, you don't buy time, you don't waste time. At the end of the day, both times are wasted. You own time as a politician. If you don't go court, you get a ruling. You don't cement your position. Say, okay, I am eligible to run for this position, or you decide quick, say, okay, I'm going over to this party and I'm eligible for 1 day. Why don't you just jump into it? Then if they waste time, not all man time they waste. The APC time they waste. Some people save time in also for the waste.
then who that they lost more?
Of course, the party.
So-
Because it's a bigger picture.
So if I was part of the party, you need to calm down the high horse and say, okay, let's bite this bullet once and for all. We accept him fully, or we do something else. It's another distraction affecting the main opposition.
So, as we wrap up with Samsumana conversation, you think the PPRC go really mediate and solve this issue and not go court?
No,
Why?
because ultimately the ultimate decision will not be accepted by both parties. It's not going to be a win-win.
You are preempting. What if Samsumana decides?
I can preempt as a political analyst. I can do my permutation. I predicted the winning of Donald Trump now. It's called political permutation.
So
Ultimately, PPRC is going to come out to the decision that either APC will not like and challenge, or Samsumana will not like and further in the courts. Mind you, the decision of the PPRC is not ultimate.
yes, definitely.
There is an avenue for them to go
court.
to the court.
To court, yeah.
So that's where it's going to end. But it's so coincident. It's so ironical. The same PPRC is fining APC 120 million
That's another disgusting
for
conversation,
the Daimara outburst, and it's the same PPRC that is mediating the Samsumana APC. But I think Samsumana, although he's playing safe, but the end game will not be to his political favor. He understands that politically the APC is vindictive. Samsumana understands that. If you listen to his last press conference,
it's his
then
party.
he gets
It's been there very long.
preparing oaths.
So he understands better.
He understands the political vindictive. He said that me left, what's me left? And to get them to get me. So he is always challenging the APC's decision directly or indirectly. And until APC realizes whether or not good they be do for Saka and all the attendant consequences, or then stick to the action and damn the consequences, one of which will be the corner votes or corner electorate mindset. So APC for tread cautiously with Samsumana. They can for do the same with Samura Kamara, and of course people like Peter Conte. Some of them might be Trojan horses, and the APC must be mindful of that.
Definitely, you know.
There is this Greek folklore called the Trojan horse, right?
Yeah.
And in the Trojan horse,
Beware when the Greeks offer gifts. Interesting story.
so some of them, I see them as Trojan horses from the other side, creating problems from the other on the other side.
Right.
So
Now, this was exactly the reason we make we want somebody from the APCI for just talk about empathy, and might just make it clear. So we reached out to Alfred Mikhail Kuma. He promised to be here, and even if we wanted to have him.
This is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons I don't go to shows. He's not sure. Then we end up for me say. These days, once certain people see my face on flyer,
I think so that because of your face. I just got the benefit of the doubt, but
and that guy is a very eloquent speaker.
Definitely, it was fair enough that we have a representation from the APC for just get their own side of the story, you know, because I think there are a lot of things the APC needs to talk about, what people need to know. We need to hold them account, even as opposition and all that. But, you know, we definitely,
I think
that does not stop the conversation.
I wish somebody in the APC go will respond to this, but I think APC is under the capture of SLPP. That's my honest, brutal frank opinion.
Interesting conversation.
It's under the capture of SLPP.
Well, they have the opportunity to reply to that.
Remember when the first video he say, let some man keep quiet so because in the see some man they go they tell us say man.
No, but in politics it's obvious. People have friends, people will see. But a whole political party I don't think can be under the capture of one party.
Starting to schema where they under person capture the whole institution.
It always happens. Tutskima always there for, you know, go.
But it's not about the Tutskima, it's about the position they hold in the party, the portfolios they carry. If not ordinary backbencher, and not
understand, yeah.
But Tankayina, I don't call the example.
Anyways, the program has stopped press when it comes to you from Truth Media and 103.9 FM. I'm not Christian Conte, and as usual, again, Melvin Sijan Mansari, and we look at the role of the main opposition, the All People's Congress Party. You know, the All People's Congress Party is. Melvin said the only opposition. Me disagree. Although the only opposition in Parliament, yes, they get points. But you know, the other opposition parties, how effective they are, we don't know. The main opposition is there and has a role to play. They always say we are government in waiting. The main opposition has a responsibility to provide alternative policies, hold government to account for, ensure say we get a balance. If nobody holds government to account, it's a problem. So in essence, you know, we always see the media and civil society. They play the role of the opposition. Melvin, this is a very important thing. You know, even the ABC looks up to the media. And when talk nothing, you are the main opposition. Now our politicians, we have a role also to hold government to account, but we get different roles. Then you don't expect the press to be the opposition party. No, I always tell people the press not to anti-government or pro-government. The press is also not anti-government or pro-government. We have people, of course, in the press who are divided. We can put it with here or here. We have people, very few people in that middle line. But the role of the press is to create a platform for get a conversation where you can talk. The minister can't talk saying that this so. The minister can't talk saying that this so. It's the responsibility of the people to decide. But when the opposition thinks civil society and the media for play the opposition role, does it not become worrying?
Because the government, they look, you say, oh, these are proxies, these are actors from the opposition, so you are labeled. And we should not be playing that role if we are not owned or funded or financed or influenced by the opposition. It's not a crime for a media outlet to support the opposition or the government. But also it's not a crime for a media to say me and I want to support government or opposition. However, this is not advice to the APC, but APC, what happens to we own? As a party secretariat, when I say APC too big, that's the APC secretariat, for saying not for manage we own newspaper, where they can set their own agenda. However, when it comes to, I sense one thing with the APC just after, in fact, before the 2023 elections, some of them began this notion, especially some of them speakers, that the media they all afraid, they all are government now, they don't buy them. And if you have an opposition where they label or brand the media in a vilifying characterization, you are left with a situation where in the media not got no choice. But also not they get a bad name, now they show some sympathy. So that's one. But again, it's challenging for the media and civil society itself for challenge the government. Yeah. So nobody or so many people don't want to play that opposition voice because the cost is huge.
Definitely, the cost is definitely
huge.
You know,
so but again, we don't have a political role to serve as an opposition.
Of course, we don't.
We are a moral conscious society. We don't work and we can't put the information and be and you are the APC or not the APC or SLPP or not the SLPP.
That is the role.
You make your decision.
The media.
So that is our role. So opposition not for Abubsin the media for play their role.
Not at all.
Because the media go always you can forget SLPP media. APC media, then you get center media.
Yeah. So just for
similarly for civil society, for Alfonso Mani with the issue they talk almost like
I know you want to talk about that. So just for information purposes, you know. So why should we get a conversation? I was a bit distracted. Mika will try for reach out and I'll see if we could get him on call because he might not be able to come because he said we can put lock call for Candy Simon and all that. If we could get him on call, definitely we'll just we technical team ready for that day. We can get a link and I'll send to him and he will call in and answer some of the questions here. So we'll just make that
I think
that disclaimer.
That is brave of him. Like I said, this guy I don't know. I don't know Minkalu from where they've been in our government.
So that's just a disclaimer. But the conversation.
If the internet go allow for like connect. Because when I can get the best engineers, but if the network.
No, we mix call always king good.
Okay, so especially as an internet I use.
Let's not talk about internet right now. Let's focus on position. So if Mika will call, if we have a link, we'll send to him. We'll definitely find a way of connecting. As the program they go along. No, let's look at another important thing. One thing we you don't discuss and at length. I've also discussed it. One of our colleagues, Bidena, Lawrence was here, and we spoke about the MCC lengthily. We're not going to spend the whole time talking about MCC again. I just want to establish a few facts. The MCC, it's the assessment of the American government.
Just give me a Q&A.
It's the assessment of the American government on governance and other things. Then government always so particularly. Happy when they pass this MCC, and ACC is always saying we pass this MCC scorecard, control of corruption. Government will put out a press release, but when we passed only 9 of the 22 indicators. Government seems for the in the middle. Yes, we do well now. Government does not want to take responsibility on the areas we failed. I remember at some point in time the minister was on an air even a challenge WISEF. Some media out there lie and all that, and they, but definitely we don't respond to those things right now. So he said media out there lie. Say it's wrong to say we failed, but if you get 22 indicators, even my kiddo is 3. Say this not red, this not red, this not red, not to pass. This not green, this not green, a pass. 9 of 13. Do we still challenge that Salion failed the MCC?
I think I explained that to the minister, and of course, although maybe people may feel so for being banter, we did it that diplomatic way. If you go to the MCC 2026 review, you see if we pass 11,
at least
out of the 22 indicators, so we not pass 11. So that is we fail. But of course, government they use what they call mind policing tactics. And for divert your attention, and no government will answer and fail. And so we can understand that, but the fact remains that yes, we underperformed, and the worst thing there is, it affects our consistency.
No, what's wrong with being honest? Say, okay. So
well, if they are being honest, then
you can say failed in another term. You know, if I say we failed,
I feel not
fail. If they are failed, for talker, but
fail not fail.
Because if you accept that this is not going on well, and that's the only way we start to solve the problem. The minister here accept, say, okay, we get challenged now, but I don't know why they challenge the fail and pass. When you pass, you say, okay, we pass this scorecard, we do very well in providing information, we do very well in this, in X, Y, Z. When it comes to fail,
because if the minister can say, you say we fail, then technically, if you don't read how the MCC operates, technically you go forget say we go get the money or not go get the money. But it was magnanimous to say MCC money don't care. I don't know if that's a breaking news or not. But I be asked scam, almost scam, he say not getting on top of it. So if the money don't make in Canada, that's the good news. But I mean, the bottom line there is we not pass, and it affects we eligibility, and because MCC for consistently the pass, and looking at the time where MCC compact don't take 1 year and some months, looking at what that happened at Washington, looking at Trump believing in trade over aid, make America great again. Institutions like MCC or USAID, they are experiencing shuttering in funds and staff. Yeah. So all of these are impediments to the full operationalization of the MCC. But we are hopeful. My challenge to the minister has always been that the MCC money will not come this year. At least it's November, and wait and see. But you say the money don't come.
No, the interesting thing, I really not get the facts on when the minister said money don't come. I will not challenge it because I don't know the facts. But what you mean about MCC, money not the council one thing. If MCC is signed this year, sometimes it takes 2 years. They get a time frame. They take it now 5 years with the roll out. No, say they announce you don't get compact today. tomorrow the money hits the bank account or a kind of government account. It does not work
this
like
is the
that.
fresh aspect to this conversation.
It takes time to come.
The more there is a delay in the implementation, the more it affects the 5 years timeline. Go and read the MCC website.
Yeah, because you got a time frame for it.
MCC now 5 years.
Yeah.
So 1 year done.
Yeah.
They left 4 years. So assuming that they can do it in the second year, MCC now know who's them. Then a 5 year compact.
Yeah.
So if
you
we
use
think
that
that within that 5 years,
that,
so that is going to be at our own detriment. And we say we got small couple, they don't forget 14 point something million dollars. So that is the thing, this diversion. The more MCC the delay, in any salon advantage.
And we understand say it's a process in the sense that when they release like some amount of money, so $million release, and you they implement something, then you get to report back to them and say, now this we don't do, and they look at it, validate and go back and forth with the reports and converse, okay, this money has been used well before the anchor, and that takes it takes time.
I think when I do a very good interview with Guja, is it called Guja?
Yeah.
I watched it in Lamrana. It was good at the latter part of that interview in which Lamrana get into all of those reservations the way we get to. So, of course, under MCC, almost ambassador don't go. They were ambassador, under ambassador, okay, Hunt, right?
Hunt, yeah.
Now we have a new ambassador, and that is his own unfinished business. But for me, my fear is not, Sierra Leone will not consistent, I agree with that. But Washington is also not consistent. Washington under Trump is not consistent. And unfortunately, we have people in the Sierra Leone government who seem to be rather preoccupied in downplaying it from an internal perspective rather than looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah, that's diplomacy. Diplomacy itself, the hypocrisy.
But go and look at the MCC report. Almost constantly terminates. Fortunately, we are not under termination. We are not other. Well, my reservation is we are not under suspension. But if you are not suspended, but you are stagnated, how can you call that? That is my reservation on the MCC.
Yeah. Okay, in case we all have our reservations on that angle. So okay, I don't get the VMix call. I'm trying to just for this, we really hope Mikhail could answer a few questions. Away from the MC compact, the members of parliament of the opposition, you say they might not have the numbers, but I remember they started something which was very good. That a regular press conference, where they held government to account. I don't know how effective that is still now, but that was a platform, so this all government to account. But now things like the MCC, I don't know how much they don't even talk about that. We have the audit reports. I don't know how much the opposition is even looking at that. And these are members of parliament who are informed, they understand the issues. We even go to issues of these, MNOs, and I see them position. I watched the press conference, I saw that they do not have a united position. It's okay. We are an opposition party. If we then are governance, this is the alternative we can create. And sometimes it's not just about criticizing, condemning government not do this. Has the APC provided alternative policies for this government? Say, okay, we need to buy electricity. Okay, we know. We are doing this way. If we within our government, this is what we should have done. Are they providing that alternative?
Blatant no. The APC is not a shadow government.
It's an alternative government.
But not a shadow government.
Yeah, but they still should provide something.
But they are not providing the position of a shadow government.
So
in the UK,
okay,
if you have a minister of, let's say, minister of business.
Yeah, you also have a shadow minister.
You have an opposition shadow minister of trade also. But in this case, it's not happening. And I think, with all due respect to the APC, the only thing we don't keep APC at least governmentally functional rather than parliamentary press conference. That is not to say their parliamentary leadership is efficacious as one will expect it to be. But the notion, the novelty that they are having this press conference, were hijacked by the secretariat. The APC secretariat, they don't go on monthly press conference, and the only parliament do not hijack. And you have MPs also seated there that can say, oh, no, we are independent group, we are a parliamentary group, let's do our own thing different. No, they blender. So, two things. The APC press conference on the spotlight real national issues. Kudos to Abdul Kagbo and the leadership, Honorable Aaron and Dana Kurma and others. But what they've not been able to do, and I will challenge Abdul Kagbo and others, I have great respect for them, they've not been able to provide alternative solutions. For example, you say government not for do redistricting. Why? In terms of alternative, not alternative that no, but alternative on if it's not black, it's not white, well, can we look at a gray alternative where we can bring the different opinions together in concept?
But I said that is same, Melvin. That's what I'm saying. They are not the APC, of course. It's not a shadow government as you put on, but as a government in which you need to create some people that know say, the government is doing this. If now we be there, now the steering ship, we would do it this way. Like things like redistricting, the only person who really they make a lot of noise about it is the mayor. Maybe because you're a mayor of Freetown.
Because she's very affected.
You are directly affected.
Her power will be reduced.
But you need somebody who go come out and say, okay, now this we think say we for do. More left redistricting, more do on this way. It's just like we are talking about the governance system and the PR and all that. There are more than 10 different types of PR. Now one system we don't test. Why can't the APC come and say, okay, if you want PR, say, pauper PR for come, fine. But let's have this kind of a PR. Have they provided that for the people of Salone? No. Away from the ala and the discussion and the politics.
No. The APC, as a party, is a political party. But I would advise them again, they need more think tanks, more researchers.
Yeah, I say they don't have enough of that.
They need more. The APC is not They need more. Meaning, if they do have,
no, I think they should have enough. It's the APC, okay, the SLP is the less political party. But they have been around for a long time.
Having them is one.
They've been in government.
Are they in the position for even their views to be expressed, not even to be heard? That's another thing. And let's talk about political arrogance versus political tolerance. If you're having fine brains within your party and they are silenced, then you are gonna be disadvantaged by your competitor. So, and I think that's what APC need moving forward. Not just this, this will not answer, this will they resist, and this, that. It's good, but resistance can be non-violent.
Yeah.
And you can give options. People are now, then they read, people and they think, people and they sweeten up in. The world is getting global. So that's what more they need to do. But they are more focused on the raw politics rather than the technocratic politics, which is giving the numbers. Everybody say that they put the economy under control, but this is what we left in terms of the numbers. I used to do that for my show, but somebody called and advised that, Melvin, you might be doing the work of what should be political researchers or political think tanks. They pay for that. That's no. And this is somebody that is in the diaspora, who works in one of these big offices in the diaspora. So I said, well, this is what they need. And should the media do that for them? I think that's a dilemma. I think so, yes, we should. If APC will do their homework well, we the media and civil society will come up with empirical research, not justifying their positions, but justifying public opinion. Okay, for example, we can do an opinion poll on what people think about PR. Yeah. Bring in experts to come and analyze the poll's results. Bring in the pros and the cons, the merits and the demerits. We can do that. Because at the end of the day, APC is already too overwhelmed and distracted. Yeah. And if you want to blast them for take them. Because if not, we might be misdirecting our shots. Okay. Me for right now, I prefer for criticize SLPP than APC. Why? APC not get power. Now one, no me not in our government. Yeah. Maybe the struggle on that. Let me understand this. Yeah. APC not get power, but then not government.
Well, we can disagree on that name.
You don't disagree? Yeah. Let me land first.
I won't disagree. Okay.
You have APC councillors.
Yes.
You have APC honorables. Okay, agree with other APC ministers.
No,
but they are in this.
Depend on what we call power. Power does not have to always.
They are in government. Government. Underline the word.
No, you said not get power. It does not.
They don't have power in the sense of executive
political power.
No. They have political powers. They are in parliament. They are in council. So that's what I'm saying.
And sometimes.
No. You are contending my point.
And sometimes the most
powerful government. But not get power. Yeah. Then our government will not get power. I don't want to not confuse family. They not get power in the sense that they not get the supreme executive authority of the land. They not get president.
But not power. They get some level of power.
No. Then our government. They not get power, but then our government. What's the SPP people are doing parliament right now? What they not do? With all the numbers,
we as citizens, as we get power. Now,
no. Two party effects. No. Hold on.
Okay.
We are arguing about power and governance. I say APC not gets power in the sense of supreme executive authority, not the presidency.
No.
But I say then are governments because they get cancelled and they get honorable.
Yes, yeah.
So I think we are not in contention. The idea of government say, government again from them. This now
the only time they contend is maybe the definition of power. We say APC don't get power. I disagree that they have some level of power. They might not have supreme executive authority. Power is about having some level of influence. The APC is a big political party, one of the two major political parties. They get a very large membership. Now, Freetown, as we talk about Freetown, if not for the PR, the SPP would not have had a seat. They have their
hypothetically.
They have probably. No, because the Western area is an extension of the North. We know that, and that's the stronghold of the APC. So that is power. Forget people. The APC get the number of votes, so then get to Samboa Kabara.
They are doing the same thing. They are in government.
Power. They also have power.
They are in government. Doesn't make them have power.
Now, with definition of power, anyways, let's
no. Anyways, let's power in this sense. Okay. What significantly APC can whether it will change, even if people want or not want? Almost nothing.
So what's the essence now of having an opposition? If you think so, then it would change anything.
Because the way our government is structured, you have systems and processes. Yeah. If, for example, in Parliament, SPP can bill, the process doesn't go to the couple of votes, not get the votes. Where is the power?
So. Okay, now still the argument.
You can have power but still powerless. I guess that's the simple.
Okay, before we left that side of the conversation, now let's give you an example. Within our media, you know, we use the microphone, we talk, and things change. Is that not power in itself? And I think the APC gets a larger power than even sometimes. Yeah, the media, of course, is more diverse because we don't get this one interest we focus on. But that is power.
Yeah, I would call it latent power.
No, power is power.
No, power has power.
I agree.
You don't come here, man, be power. So what you have power? No, let me. You know what I mean?
No, the debate is about
latent power. You use a fine case.
The debate is about the type of power, but accepting that all man gets a level of power we should accept that and say the media get your own power.
Okay, I'll summarize this. Go and read the Magnitsky Act.
But so the opposition don't get power. That's what you're saying. They don't get the level of power they want. They might not have power to the level of the government, of course. But they have power. They have something to use.
Like what?
Don't they have?
Like what?
Being an opposition alone, self, it's some level of power.
Yes.
A voice. If government want to do something, why if you to say, when the opposition refused to be part of governance, why if you say SFP not left anymore? Say, okay, that's Friday. SFP needed them because they get some level of power. You need the opposition to get some level of
legitimacy. They get some elements of people's power in terms of the votes.
So it's some level of power.
It's a sublime power.
It's power. Let's
power.
Okay,
so we disagree to agree that power pass power, but not power.
Okay, baby. We continue doing the program. The program is Stop Press on Truth Radio 103.9 FM. My name is Christian Conte. Again, Melvin Sijaman with me, and we look at the role of the opposition. And I still watch my phone and make a look at the opportunity for call since he never come. He could call and add his voice to the debate. He promised for. Definitely reach out, and I'm still taking him by his words. It's an opportunity. We can get to these discussions and share our thoughts, opinions. We just want to get it balanced, give the opposition an opportunity for air their own side. On a platform that they don't necessarily have to pay for. We're not doing PR on a normal day. If we do PR for them, they should get it paid for. But it's here. It's a platform. They can choose a call during the program or at some other point in time. Now let's move the conversation further away from the old power thing, power dynamics and all that. What do you expect from the opposition in some way without them power? What should they be doing now to prepare themselves as a serious set of people? Maybe some people begin watching like alternative, because we are at this point in time where government go this way. Nobody is there to really call them to order. And if we're not helping government. If all man sit down, we said to Monty, say, okay, we'll not talk. Now we said they suffer. I said, people, government, they do a lot of good things, yes. Government, they do a lot of not so good things. You need somebody for get check and balance. Even as President Biode, so if every morning old man they say, yes, sir, this is fine, you know, they help the president. What should the opposition be doing for create that platform the way governments are going to listen at the corner and say, okay, yeah, the opposition deal. If we want to do this thing out of the way, we have somebody or some set of people with a hold to account. Now, what are the political sphere? They are not media, they're not, now direct opposition there. What should they be doing?
I'll be giving a very radical advice to the opposition, and some people will not like it.
They don't have to like it. I like views.
SLP will make sure that it's by waiting there once power. APC will not left the government gide. Just just walk.
So that's very dangerous advice. Then the detriment of the people.
How can it be the detriment of the people? You know how much countries the opposition and walk out of government? It's a political tool. Okay, wait. For them to go do any Malawi or the Skadiu Kaikari, for them to say we are abstaining from government, so which one much better?
So does it really have
I'm talking about worst case scenario. In the worst case scenario, if SLP always in the pilot, if always in the pilot so, if always in the pilot so, they say one forgets a hook, line, and sinker, hook or crook. APC, you have no option. Back out of the government. Assess the government if they are ready to be fair on the elections. If not, back out of the elections. Yeah. And you will see what pressure that will yield. And let's go make leakage on that.
Knowing our political system, you know, we don't have this very liberal political system. Knowing we background how come up from the years of dictatorship. Exactly. You know the political setup. And you think say the opposition can afford to do that? Say,
if the way they see everybody gets radical so far, get power parts all the time. If APC back is not radical, I mean not say radical, no threats of violence and incendiary comments. So when you talk about radical political actions, one of which the hallmark is boycotts. Once you boycott government, you stall the government. Nothing you mean for the APC say one day no more, we are not participating in government. Nothing you mean for the APC say we are not participating in election. This government is doom and gloomed. Let me not forget. You say SLP the minority makes you all afraid. When they get that visa ban, not so man they want for go sign agreement for national unity and tripartite. This is just the reality of today's geopolitical world. You don't understand if you say it's tough. But since they happen as already tight you globally, you can't assume for can make peace.
Yeah.
That's why we have the Magnitsky Act.
But
people already abuse power and others.
I have deliberately not even mentioned it because first of all, Abraham mentioned at some point in time the fine me want to talk about, but in statements and all that, we refuse to play it and we don't discuss it because must share my thoughts, my personal opinion. Listen to what I listen to. In the claim to the editor, but listen to what I listened to. I think it was reckless, it was irresponsible, and I can go on and use negative terms for this. But that's level the PPRC and all that.
But even at that, PPRC no just go. You know, find man, find man, investigate. So now, so parliament take ban me.
Well.
They ban me for investigate.
Maybe the PPRC is arbitrary. No, maybe the PPRC has their evidence and all that.
The evidence can't be enough. It's called the rights to reply. Or that you know law. Alter within pattern. Here the other side.
Yeah, of course.
You know the other side.
The other side.
Yeah, the other side.
But the statement is out there.
I am not for violence. We there we say man they want to win and get international book. We there left with Aberdeen. We there. Some of who they are level. Some are not be serious. Some of who they are the world they are level. I will never support. I need support junta. I need support any military intervention. I need support violence. I'm a radical. I believe I have so many radical actions. Whenever even slap you or curse you, those have options. But for them, we don't see. We read the TIC report. So that is I agree with you. Yeah. But again, I was on morning coffee with my elder sister Salmata, and one way they make arguments say, "Oh, now because of Tina, we don't mean I make a piece of this." So that's go and read Martin Luther King. There is fire under the hot fire. So if you are saying because of that, you have other radical actions to take. This SLP government, some of their officials are already on blacklist, like we know it. So you will say Manabio go and them done, another freedom. Mother Bureau, I'm not believing say will make an Escomanca mistake. The kind Mother Bureau, no. It doesn't talk yet for analyze, but I will tell you he's a very smart person. It will not make an Escomanca.
He's a very misunderstood president.
Mother Bureau don't want to report on country.
Yeah, definitely.
And besides the investment that we're going to get, not go one that day. So, I tell them one of the SLP say power that they win. Pakababi don't set example, and Escomanca said this example. I'm not saying APC is going to win 2028. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying SLP is going to win.
Yeah, then put it out in order.
But I did tell you the kind combo the way some of the officials in this government going to disclose. Some of them will not want more combo because they want to enjoy their money full. And Pabio go and go Sudo enjoy life. He's still fairly young. Go continue in PhD. And then Madam, what for do after presidency? So I get small iota of confidence in him that there will be a smooth elections. But however, you get elements within in party where being radically inclusive and radically exclusive.
Me don't think say Bill as president of Sierra Leone will be moved by what people in party talk. And me, I just be very optimistic. But the
party is moved by what he's saying.
And all what we are saying now, all what we're doing is guiding towards that, preparing people's minds. We'll get a clear process. That's why we need a functional opposition. Because if we not left government no more, you know, by human nature, we all want just relax, do what you want to do. So I left government just they do things.
So we need functional. You have to check and balance. So you say the opposition not functional.
Well, I'm not saying that. You are the analyst. No, you are here to analyze. I'm just looking at the role they for play.
No, yeah, you are vibrant, but I don't think the way they want for go so. Or some of the supporters they know the talk say they want for go violence. Some of they don't get public support.
Definitely.
They will not have public support. Salomon prefer for chairman Gary in peace.
Yeah.
Than the champ chicken he get angered. Yeah. So that's kind of trajectory. APC never follow SLP people are waiting and of course I'm not only the brief for the APC, but what's the APC they talk so now? Like reaction to what the SLP don't say.
That let me
other people level. So it's reaction, but violence. I think this should be a common agreement.
Yes,
for civil society. You can tell all kind of protests, but violence protests. No. Talking about drone. Talking about that, when you work plan, they don't get estimates on what it costs to count war.
That's why we really get them conversation.
So why that's why it's not fine? Why PPRC not fine? No,
I don't intend to hold brief for PPRC, but more understand the fact.
That brief they collapse.
No, more understand the fact. Say these statements had been made over a period of time. PPRC called the political party to a meeting. They had an agreement to sign something. Now, after the agreement, now we had that reckless statement.
What is the basis of that agreement?
It's an agreement.
It's a baseless agreement.
No, it can be baseless.
What is the basis? Where it's injured law?
It can be baseless.
No, fall for this.
No.
You are falling for something that is a ditch.
The PPRC says they have fined the APC.
Constitution upon what?
I'm coming based on the law.
On what law?
Based on the law.
On what law?
PPRC Act
of 2022.
Yeah.
Who said can make a statement?
No, they don't.
You know why you have all the arguments again. This is the thing.
They don't all land behind them back.
No. How can you put it behind them back? Now, when I APC actually use so.
No, the SLP took action. Can you they don't make noise about it?
Whose action?
No, and they put out a statement saying, no, we don't support this and all that.
Was that enough?
No, we don't always have to implement the law to the letter.
Oh, you don't go find APC 120 million.
Because we have
power.
Because 120 million for APC pay as a political party.
You know what's the APC account
has been in government for 10 years.
Hey, no one's had
10 years. How many years?
You what say me after 10 years? What was the opposition? I'm coming in about party business. One in opposition.
No.
One in opposition. It cost Slippers the 2 days na government.
No, what we are saying.
What opposition had to?
What we are saying. the PPRC don't say they don't give time.
No, sorry for APC.
PPRC don't.
What are you saying?
This is political party. The PPRC don't give.
No, sorry for them. We got one or two parties that we go do it.
The PPRC don't
give. PPRC has not been fair.
So
that decision is not fair.
So what would happen if the AP says they are not paying that?
If the APC don't
implement. If PPRC implement the act,
it's gonna be challengeable. Why not be implemented before? Why not implement them at Kadigu Kaikai?
I'm saying it's after the agreement, after they don't discuss.
I don't say I'm not believing this. No, there's no basis in law. PPRC says they don't find Laimala, like the act sign a site, no cite the agreement. Why they not sign the agreement?
Okay, so because they not be done.
Why they not sign the agreement?
I'm coming. If because they not be fine person, I mean, there's always a starting point.
Eh?
You should start now.
You go agree.
You say,
You go agree that people go close say no bet so.
but
You can go the loan and you bet. Is that morally correct?
But this is not about morality again.
The law should be moral enough.
Okay. So I think the
law should be moral
the
enough.
technical team they tell me say we're having
Time
a call.
not done, eh?
No, we're having a call.
Mikhail.
So we're having a call. I think Mikhail wants to speak up. I see they watch my phone. So they can put the call through and let's. Oh, thank you very much. You know, we get the man himself there. Mikhail Kuruma, thanks for joining the show. You know, we want to get you earlier on the show and like I reach out. And the conversation is about the opposition of People's Congress Party. And we shed some light on our party. We're asking a very significant question. You know, the APC has its challenge like every other political party. I hope you get me. Just well. Hello, Mikhail, I hope you get me.
Yeah, Lord, they get you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. So the APC has its own challenge like every other political party, like the SLPP, like every other political party. And our question would ask, the APC don't provide serious opposition as a government in waiting to the Serbian People's Party. Looking at all distractions una gets as a party. What are you doing? Have you been able to provide a solid opposition for the people of Sierra Leone?
It is
I think so. They get issues with the.
Hello.
Yeah, you get me clear?
I get you clear. I get your question clear.
Yeah.
Yes, it is not for the. I think say Una will be in the right position for no. The APC they provide the required opposition for this country. Not. Una go be in the position for tell. Una go able to tell because now they observe both the ruling government and the main opposition. So now Una they in the position for tell. But are they consider the question for the and so that attempt to answer, yes, by with the checkmate government excesses, with the provide social problems, and we do a lot as an opposition. With presence in our parliament, with presence in our councils, anything with the of national interest, with the comment on them, the thing that we're not favorable for we as opposition, we not only do a press release, but to the follow on to a logical conclusion. I just want you instance, very soon we will get the decennial housing and population census now this country.
Yeah.
We'll forget after every 10 years. We SLPP government is forget them. All waiting at the inadequacies, the challenges, call press conference at the police hotel and raise them to the international community then can speak to most of the things that will speak. And we give them the census. Now we forget constitutional review committee, the work they go on. We get a lot of things the way they happen, the tripartite, the population, presentation, they go on. All these things and they challenge the one that we get input thoroughly. So we buy the required opposition for the country. Anybody thinks say APC not a formidable opposition, then the person forgets to think. But as far as me concerned, all the things we for do as opposition. There's something why APC not get a lower level election and the National Delegate Conference states today. All man knows we don't pull the rules them, we don't get them, we don't allow objections, their objections they don't count. We need to put the action now for finalize the objections and very soon we'll get them. So when we go to do lower level election,
So Mikhail,
so yes,
the question I ask, looking at all the things that happen within the party, from the agreements for national unity, tripartite recommendations, and we see the back and forth, and a couple of other issues just around the party, and when I change the policy, when I be chief negotiator and things like this, all these distractions, think say it distracts the APC from the things that really matter, where people want to already talk about.
No, you know the distraction. Nothing not come up with stuff. But moderator, permit me for apologize. You called me yesterday and invite me. I tell you, say I dey upline. I go try for make am to Freetown, but one or two things come up, one don't make am on time. So I apologize to you, to the management, and to the listening public who don't expect me for dinner this studio earlier. I also dey beg for the opportunity for giving me another chance. I mean, why go dinner the studio and Lord probably waiting are the things the way APC they engage in currently. But then thing and they not they distract the APC. Anything for implementing recommendations jointly with government because we signed to the national agreement for national unity. Then they know they distract you at all. The CRC when are the constitution so they gone, with the challenge inadequacy, but you know they distract you as a party. The census where they gone with recommendations and the presence is highly felt. It equally know they distract you as a party. As I they talk, we be not put to rules them, election rules out, we they with PPRC they engage very seriously, and we they do all waiting for do, we they challenge the excesses of government. We they challenge things the way they happen with the economy, we they challenge the excess spending the way government is spent. We they look at the wage bill, we they look at the economy generally, we they look at human rights, we they look at the rule of law, all things we opposition for do, we they do am. So you know they distract you at all.
Okay, so no, how I'm still asking about the effectiveness of what you do as an opposition. How then things they do, they reflect on governance. Because let's go back to parliament. You know, we get parliamentarians in there, but more often than not, the government always has its way. How do the opposition they stand up for and ensure say your voice is not only heard,
now
we make impact?
Okay, politics of this country. Because you know, possibly means and the ages, I don't know you. I'm not saying a person way they follow governance, they follow current affairs, you know what they happen at the country.
Yeah.
You go recall say when the people of this country voted in 2018, what they did was they voted for APC to take care of parliament or to have majority in parliament. They voted SNPP for the executive arm. So what did SNPP do? They removed 10 of the MPs in the parliament. We're not giving the majority again. So that they will continue to forget it. In 2023, waiting and do. They imposed a proportional representation system in parliament, so that the legislative arm will make them go give themselves more seats, then take seats them from winner western area, both urban and rural. They ask me the seats them at the south and the east. Then go put lock of district, then take seats them they will not merit. All over the country, then go and take seats them out to themselves through the PR system. And so now waiting and most of the children win a simple majority votes, then they win because they get the simple majority. Only wait for those constitutional amendments and other things they hold the vote for. Now that's the APC they do the and make sure they will not allow them to get to win it. But anything we get for those simple majority, then they the simple majority because of fraud, electoral fraud. So you don't blame the parliament at all.
Yeah. No, one more thing I want to ask is about alternative policies. Me believe say, you know, as main opposition, you're a government in waiting. Most definitely. You know, whether we end up winning the next elections or not, but you're always as opposition, main opposition, a government in waiting. You know, the APC don't they provide alternative policies there. For example, you always get issue with the redistricting or the PR system. Does the APC, outside of just saying this is not good for this country, they provide alternatives? Say, okay, government wants the PR system, but we can still do another system. Give alternative. Regularly, do you do that as an opposition?
I hope so they follow really.
Yeah.
They follow. Now, people who would deny say we don't want the proportional representation, we give alternative. Now we know so we get two systems of government that we practice, yeah. Two systems. Either the simple majority or use the PR. But the PR you only use in circumstances where the country not conducive for conduct a constituency based system. Like if it war day, like if it disaster day, like 1996 we use them because Robin Day. Not to also be able to conduct elections. But fast forward in 2007 to 2018, that the constituency based first pass the book. Because that is who don't tell government say if they say they use the vast areas in the country, we're not going to be represented in parliament. Now, as to the context on Eastern, say go to Brookfields, you do not get member of parliament. That key constituencies and then they will not represented in parliament at all. They're not represented in parliament at all. Yeah, you need to know that clearly. Now you get some places there, like you go Malal, Chibdom, Matampolini, you go Port Loco, you get areas and they from Mashaka, from Okro, Shaka, say go Masimra border around there, you don't get member of parliament. You get some areas in Port Loco, you don't get members of parliament. So these are the challenges of the PR system, the proportional representation system. You get some silent day when you get both APC and SNDP because of the position where they put them at the list. They get some areas and they will not get representation. They don't get nobody for it. So
Yeah,
tell us
but
in the system.
Mikhail, quickly.
And most cases, yeah.
The argument is it's a block system. So any member of parliament in a Western area represents all the Western area. That's the argument.
No, now you know say you know effective. It is not effective. Law say if you dey Lumley now, no matter what you do, now the people of Lumley, them voices they represent, you cannot extend up until Brookfield. You're not able to extend a day. You're not able to go 10 circle. You are limited to Lumley. Don't know that clearly. So it is not effective. It's not. We have vast areas that are not represented. And again, let you also know, say, most countries that really practice the proportional representation, they also they practice the parliamentary system of government, with a unitary system of government, a presidential system of government to the practice. And so now the first system for we as a country. So don't they prefer policy solutions, then problem than they. We not just they say kick against this, but they bring out solution. Example. We meet welcome to 2007. Electricity supply to Freetown will be about 40,000 watts or 40 million watts. We take out to 350 million watts. I will tell them the road will use for take electricity to that level. When they come, then deviate, then bring down the unit. Now that they make we have of electricity now the city.
Okay. Now,
So a
now
lot of
quickly,
things they will
Mikhail.
provide to government.
Yeah, quickly, I want to look at the Melvin High Studios. You might want to ask you one question, but I look at I look at the agreement for national unity. You know, there's this debate. You know, the chief minister, who is chief negotiator, represents government. Always, you know, they say almost 100% of the recommendations there we don't implement and all that. The opposition always has an issue. But my point is the opposition has representation in these agreements. When they go the meetings there, and things seem to be going on okay. What is that disconnect? In recent times, where they complain about, you know, the secretariat and all that. What's that disconnect? Because now this not the only thing we seem for tie with peace in the country. Now we have this agreement going on, and we think it should be going on fine. What is the disconnect between the opposition and the government when it comes to the agreement for national unity?
Yeah, thank you very much, moderator. I say I still they ask for the opportunity for I get conducive atmosphere where I go in at the studio and talk on the issues there. But for the purpose of this engagement, let me answer you. Now, where will we get the agreement? Members will be get 8 resolutions. One of the resolutions, and they win a resolution. I am born the tripartite committee when I elected processes review. The tripartite committee will make 80 plus 4 recommendations. You get divergent and convergent recommendations. All waiting the recommendations and say government don't be baby. First of all, government then we say the recommendations also come with the terms of reference for the tripartite secretary. They don't deviate from the terms of reference for the tripartite secretary. You they talk about say they jointly, we not they jointly implement them. It is being rubber stamped by the chief minister. In fact, for now get the chief minister, for a big chair of the tripartite steering committee, faulty, because the chief minister he get vested on the one big president. They run for flag bearer and SFPP.
But why will not be raise all these issues from the start of the process? Why is it now?
You cannot say we don't raise them.
No, I mean the issue of the chief minister and him chairing and he getting political ambition. Una raised at the start.
We are never consulted. We are never consulted. They selected the committee without consulting the APC. Out of the 20 committee members, only 3 will get it. Out of the 20, we will be able to tripartite. Then we get 7. The people that will get it. Now even Akisoya, the mayor of Makeni City, Lante, and the leader of the opposition at Parliament, Honorable Abikago, and then 3 will get it. The balance all now then get her. Not to we. They never consulted the party. They don't write to me. They just use their discretion for doing what they want to do. And even when the committee they meet, they know they communicate effectively. The committee not get minutes from when they begin. They don't want to get minutes. Even when they go round for go do engagement, they know they communicate to the steering committee members. Quite recently, me and Abdul Fatoma, when I tried the executive 19.1, he said a committee member, but not be aware say they go get engagement. You know when they see minutes, the agenda going, they know they give them.
But Mikhail, you know, in all of this, there's a feeling that you are participating. When I get very senior members and they way, they come, they sit down, they give updates, say things are going on. From the very onset, if this was what the issues you had, probably we don't go to the level we don't go. So it's been several months, and my just come when Dr. Samara was chief negotiator there. They attend meetings, man, they collect sitting fee, things they go on fine. So I'm wondering why at the almost we are thinking we are coming to the tail end. Why are we raising those issues now? That should have been raised at the start of the process.
We are not only raising the issue now. Now that make us say I hope so be done. There was a point when one of we own, when a member of the committee, Mayor Yvonne Akisoya, wrote a letter to the chief minister and did raise all of those issues. The letter gave for public consumption. We write and raise all the issues they are. So Samuel Kamara, not to be even part of the steering committee, where the chief minister, the chair, not to remember that only 3 representatives they will get it. The Honorable Abukago, Mayor Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor Lamte of Makeni City. And then 3 no more get it. Dr. Samuel Kamara was never a member of that steering committee at the city, the rest of the tripartite committee. Dr. Samuel not to be a member. The committee will put together now with Dr. Kefala Mara, the chair. Now for them, they liaise with representatives and they work to the monitor the process and ensure say they not cheat the APC. Again, I tell you, Mr. Moderator, most of the recommendations and get timeline. Then timelines and they don't elapse, government don't implement them. So then they get for to start it off. Look like you all get for review the Public Elections Act. The one who get for do the how they come about for choose the electoral commissioner. Right now, not get chief electoral commissioner and not act in the act. Because the recommendation may provide how to review the law, how will they choose the chief electoral commissioner. The one get for do the system of government for practice now. Recommendation 70. Now then they conduct studies around the country. Overwhelmingly, the people that don't reject the PR system, they say they want to go to a simple majority. Government come back, they want cash shop vote. They say now the legislative arm, they want to come back now the executive arm, and they even propose power sharing. So, Mr. Moderator, the issues in Baku, and they have now eminent of bad, and they apply. I want to give the opportunity.
We definitely will give the opportunity. Yeah, thank you so much for taking your time. Just one more, I think. Just one more before I left you. Just a few minutes. Melvin and I just want ask something. Melvin, now me guess, but he's also a journalist.
Thank you.
Say, you want to ask you something. Just one question.
Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Kailo. We are the APC. Some APC members then they talk about resisting the SLPP. By hook or by crook, if they want for Shinka 2028 election like 2023. The question where they can have in mind how an APC intend for resist the SLPP should they not win 2028 and declare themselves winner? That's not the first question. Then from what you explained from the tripartite, it seems as if too many unfinished businesses, and the question where they can have in mind, is the tripartite on the verge of a collapse? And lastly, maybe this is just a take home. What's now the APC position on Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma at the moment? And same way so Sam Sumana and Dr. Samura Kamara.
Well, I load me guesses, all the questions. Anyways,
I know it's a brilliant.
Just quickly, get down there. We'll definitely find time to elaborate on those conversations. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Melvin is a brother and friend. I know I'm for very troubles of journalists. Don't give me more questions. Now, the first what APC go do, we are ready for challenge the SLPP by every means necessary. Would they stop them from rigging the election? By legal means necessary. Always seen and they put in place to rig the election to the challenger. The one therefore do electoral laws. The one that therefore say that they use NIN number, would they reject them? Now voter registration, not to NIN number. The one therefore do any system of government, like first past the post or simple majority, when are the constituency based, would they ensure say waiting in the constitution use. So all the even the census would they participate fully. we dey monitor in fact from the cartographic process now dey run. That's not the way dem go do now for we go no dey follow to a logical conclusion. So na that way dem dey use for ensure to stop the SLPP from rigging. We no dey shy away from anything again. Anything wey dem for do, we dey follow am to a logical conclusion. So that don't answer your question by challenging the SLPP and stopping them from rigging the 2028 election. We all get for do with the tripartite committee. Yes, the tripartite committee is at the brink of collapse.
Wow.
Because the recommendations, some of them, the time bound or elapsed. They need to get behind and make sure say before the first quarter of 2026, they will not implement all the recommendations. And if they don't implement in terms of 2026, we're not going to meet up the one that we get for do with electoral laws. So by the fall 2026, they will not implement them. The one we get for do with Dr. Ernest Baikoma, former president of the former chairman and leader of the APC, a bona fide member of the APC, we respect him and we accord and I respect him forever. Dr. Samuel Kamara is a member of the APC. Nobody is questioning his membership. But Chief Alhaji Abubakar Samsumana is a member that has been readmitted. But he said, if they challenge the fact say they allow for protest and slack there, the case they before PPRC, the negotiation they go on, and I believe they will resolve amicably very soon. Then we will communicate to the public.
Thank you very much, Mikhail, for joining us. When do they pay 120,000? We people don't find the party. Now they pay or already pay?
We don't tell PPRC say we need to go to the drawing board. But you know, when a chairman of SLPP not believe the statement there, a hate speech, in fact, what the people have belligerent, more like statement there, they're not final. That you don't make more statement, they're not final. Why not we the party don't challenge us very seriously, and we will go down the drawing board and sit down and
so in essence, we need to challenge the facts that the statement been bad. Now the fact that other parties don't make they're not final the same kind. That's the contention. Is it?
On a personal note, Mr. Moderator, on a personal note, their statement and they would say the honorable make me as I condemn them in entirety. The party don't ask for clear evidence. Okay. If the party find out saying so they do, we they institute the disciplinary mechanism. Now the party let the investigator and take action. But this day and age, we're not going to talk about anything companies. We're not going to talk about anything and they're fearful. So who believes as a chairman, for make that statement and they that make could not ask for clear evidence. If now so he say that the person
Thank you very much, Mikhail, for joining us on the show. Definitely, as you say, we'll give you time. We'll come on the show, subsequent editions, and get more national conversation. We have a lot of time to talk about it. So we'll come with you, your SIP colleague now. I want to get some banter. Just get some discussions and understand. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's a pleasure having you.
I am grateful. God bless you.
Yeah. So, Melvin, the very short conversation we had with Minkailu, and one of the things we are happy at the fact that he talks, by all indications, the statement made by Honorable Laima is what it is, and Ekodema in no uncertain terms. And we're glad they say political leaders now they take responsibility and saying we don't want this. Nobody not going for facts now. Nobody not going to go other way for doing anything. We are all going by the law. When I make a law day, that's why we have agreements. We can have a conversation about things. So I think this is one very good take home. And the headline we give you now is that the tripartite committee is at the brink of collapse. Yeah. What do you make of that? Imagine something we have spent time, energy, resources. International commission don't can put money. It's a whole lot of money, time, resources, energy, and all that.
I think what I think about that, we've done journalism. We've asked critical questions,
and we have had the answer.
The rest is for the public to now decide. Let's get outside secretary. I can say they are not on the brink of collapse. Yeah. Other issues them. Again, like I tell you earlier on, I've covered Minkailu for a long time. Very brilliant guy. He used a precursor on a personal note. Meaning that what he has done
it's not the party stance,
it's not the party.
It's his own thoughts.
So we should push the party to do same. That such comments. Talking about Dugun. Talking about Dugun attacks.
I don't even think any responsible party will support something like this.
But they've not condemned it.
That we are watching.
But Minkailu has done that. So technically, what has that done? It has sent what I would call a different message from the party's position. Yeah. And in PR, we know what that means. But it was, like you said, on a personal note. Yeah, so if we have more people like Minkailu in the APC, I think the prospect is bright for them come 2028 because he's not just talking politics, he's talking the realities. And for me, I think, yes, we need to follow up on whether Tripartite is on the brink of collapse.
Yeah, definitely.
But his position is also substantiated. Mm-hmm. He's saying that some of them are time-bound, and if the time has elapsed...
Now, just like what we talk about the MCC, when you say, it's 5
years...
I
did delay, exactly. Yeah, so that is...
Yeah, thank you so much, Melvin. As we just wrap it up, what are your hopes and thoughts when it comes to, alternative government? We disagree on a lot of terms. We have disagreed on what is power. We are disagreeing on alternative governments and it's not to shadow governments and all them technicalities there. But what are you looking forward to as we are thinking about 2028 elections? We're not ready for good elections. We got a tripartite committee recommendation. That's why we're having this conversation. What do you think should be done by selling, and not just the APC? Not the APC don't get responsibility too. Because if the APC decides they don't want to do it, therefore do it left to them. But we as a people have the what do you think we should be doing?
We have limited options.
But we still have options. What are those options that we should be?
The options we have is that.
But you know, wait someone to give any kind of flag there.
If the election for the people, that's all we can do. What can we do? And again, something was coming to my mind on alternative. I think the fact that the opposition is a shadow government, we agree or disagree, means that they should be constructive. Yeah. And in this case, they should be wary of the fact that a lot of legislative proposals are coming and they don't have the numbers, means that APC must put their house in order in terms of whip system. The MP, they will vote against APC, therefore find out whether or them and main fence with them. And for the SLPP, they should be mindful of what I would call the Magnitsky Act, and they should be mindful of doctrines such as greatest bearers of responsibility. And whatever happen come 2028 with the politics of Sierra Leone, we have limited things to do, but the world cannot sit and watch. And that is my focus. The moral guarantors should be proactive rather than reactive. These are all early warning signs. We've covered that. Early warning signs. Moral guarantors, the UN, the ECOWAS, the AU, they should not wait until things implode or explode. Let them work now, caution who they should caution, warn who they should warn, sanction who they should sanction, and make sure that everybody is on that pedestal of expecting a level playing field. If not, I'm afraid 2028 might not be pleasant if some of these issues are not addressed.
Thank you very much, Melvin, for joining us on the show, and also we'll wrap up the the conversation today. It's been very engaging. We have had Melvin Sijanman-Sarina, a colleague journalist, and we also don't get Minkailu Payamba. I like that name, Minkailu Payamba. Koma, way now either part of the APC publicity team, and share thoughts about the APC being an effective opposition. This is how we do on Stop Press. Give people the opportunity for sharing thoughts, their views and opinions. So definitely we'll therefore reach out and get some side from the government. And we want in Shoya Lamarck, you always do. We have had the secretariat here
reported collapse of
and discussed. Definitely, I'm sure we'll reach out to to the secretariat and get a conversation around this. Thank you so much for all the one who joined me on the show. You will listen, you will participate, and constantly on the show and listen. Thank you so much. And with a run of that's our newspaper, Truth newspaper. Grab a copy. The Target bold banner headline today. It is not enough to supply minerals. Africa must process and benefits. The past say, with also the benefits from minerals. And after mining diamonds since 1930, not much has I'm sure Africa. Africa. Me talk about Salon. I talk about Salon. Say we say no benefit. So this is a larger picture with the try for never
so you want to see the party picture with our own picture.
No, I didn't say that. We got another antibiotic, not the poor belly. Very interesting story. We don't get throughout the week we've had people discuss these things, and these are all just we say things in a very what would they do on Truth newspaper? Say things in a very funny way. These are things that should be be spoken about. People use antibiotics all the time For Paul Bellewell,
If you know him Bellewell, you don't use condom.
Definitely, you know, that's a conversation for another day. Yeah, we don't have to open my soaps now again. Today we are talking about the opposition, and we don't conclude that conversation. Maybe some other time we'll have that conversation. Thank you so much for everybody, who's joined us on the show, and thank you, Melvin, for your time, coming here. My name is Christian Content. I saw left the program, and this has been Stop Press.
What the fuss about? This happens in New York every day. You know our sportsmen are rated amongst the best. There's nothing about that in the foreign press. All the lovely buildings